All right, here we are for game 3, Eternal Empire. I'm kind of, hoping it's a slightly shorter game than the last one. I have, I've been out to the garden and I have actually fetched the rusty spoon, so if anything does start to happen like that last game, I'm ready for it. It is going to be a quicker game, which is interesting because this, of all maps, Eternal Empire is like just a classic macro map. You get your 4 bases up pretty handily. It's so easy to hold 3, it's untrue, and even the 4th is not too bad to hold. The 5th not too bad, and this is just, it's a good map, especially with Terrans, to turn into just an absolute macro beast game. So you can have some epic battles on here with a lot of back and forth, but that is not what Biggels has got in mind. He's thinking it worked in the first game, second game didn't go so well, so it broke. And it's a fair enough rationale, you've got to be honest. So here are the 2 racks, and it's all really going to be about does Griffin see it? Because most of the time, if you see a proxy, you can beat it. The correct response, the appropriate response, if you spot that it's a proxy, you just drop a bunker. Somewhere on the channel, there's a game I played on ladder like ages ago. I think it's called, the video clip's called Cheese versus Cheese. And I might have been random, to be fair to the guy. But ultimately I was Terran, and I'm playing against the Terran. And we both pulled the exact same proxy racks on each other. The difference is I scout, he doesn't. So I know his is coming, he doesn't know mine's coming. So I just literally I build a bunker and just win. That's it. Simple as that. Right, is this going to see it? Doesn't see it at present, but bear in mind SCVs have a longer vision range than a building while it's under construction. And the SCV's vision will change as it moves around. So there is a chance. Oh, he's definitely going to see it now. I was just going to say, as the SCV sort of moves around in its building pattern, if it comes around to this side, it might well see this stuff. As it turns out, it doesn't. But this is just such a weird thing to behold right now, isn't it? The gig is up, isn't it? So yeah, again, Biggels, what are you waiting for? Get in your opponent's base. You've done a proxy build. Get in your opponent's base. You built on the other side of the map. You know why you do that? So that your Marines don't have to take the time to walk across the map, which is, you've saved that. No, please don't focus that. Oh God, no. Oh, right, hang on. Why has he lost, Oh, Jesus. Please make it stop. How has he managed to lose a single Marine? He's got a bunker, and he's got twice as many Marines, and somehow, he's managed to trade even. Griffin, I don't know about this add-on. Griffin has the same production ability as The racks have gone quiet. The main disappointment is that actually the rusty spoon just feels slightly too sharp. It'll be almost, just won't be painful enough. So I might have to just get a file and just no. And now Griffin's doing the same thing as Biggels did. He's focusing down the building when he should just be shooting the Marines. So he's going to lose all his Marines. Now that he has lost all his Marines, empty the bunker and get up the ramp. You can't kill your opponent's base from down here. You can't. Come on. Look, his base is up here. Here it is, look. That's where the stuff is that you need to kill. What is this? I give up, man. As I was saying before, you build these on the other side of the map to save the 30 seconds that it takes to walk across the map. So you turn up in your opponent's base 30 seconds earlier. That's the plan, 30 seconds earlier. If you build the Marines and they just stand about here for 30 seconds, there is literally no point in having done this at all, is there? And as for this setup that you've got going on, let's send the Marines into the bunker. Transfer the Marines from this bunker to that one. With the repair. This is just hideous, isn't it? Finally some Marines come out of a bunker and then change their mind. But look, you've got 10 Marines here against, like, it's too late. It's too late. All this all this like just waiting about. I don't understand it. What's the point in this? And as for this Griffin, you know, you've got a siege tank about to come out. How waste these Marines? Siege tank parked there, end of bunker. I just, yeah, mate. Gonna have to cast the rest of this game just based entirely on the game sounds, because I'm not going to be able to see. Just going to stick a pen in my... I might even... Oh, Jesus, wow. I might even have to blank out the game sounds, to be honest. I might have to, like, do something about that as well. I'm just going to fetch a couple of screwdrivers, stab my own ears, and just hope for the best, like. Right. Good. So, factory. Biggels finds himself behind, substantially in tech. There's a starport that's built nothing, but hopefully we'll see a medevac out from it very, very soon. He can creep forward with the siege tank. It outranges all of this stuff, so he can just creep it down. And that is what he's going to do. Good. So finally, some semblance of something vaguely sensible actually occurs. So this siege tank, left to its own devices, is just going to pound away at this stuff, and it can just creep forward. Why there isn't another one in production, I don't know. Oh look, there's one. So, you know, bring that one over as well. Join the party, and just wreck all this stuff. Just make this the biggest waste of time that you've ever seen. I'd like Griffin to be building a command center, because he is going to need to expo. Nah, I don't know about using the Marines like this. You know, you just... Oof. And the siege tank goes down as well. Why the run forward into... I've talked about this before. Turns out sending Marines in to fight bunkers, it just isn't that good. It isn't that good, like, it's not. So yeah, that's why you have things like tanks. That's what they're for outranging the bunkers and shooting them from far away, so that your Marines don't have to get shot in the face or the head or the leg or the arm. It's hard to tell. Yeah, I think that is actually out of range. So, but he's going to move it. But look, the starport's still idle. Nothing coming out of the factory. I don't know. Nothing, like just Marines being produced. It's interesting that the siege tank is focusing that. So a little bit of micro to get it to focus the Marines, where it will have much more fun. Oh, and it just survives with 6 health. This guy is just, why am I here? What sort of orders are these, Chief? You run across over there the whole way. Yeah, no worries, Chief. What do I do when I get there? Run about in front of a siege tank until it turns you into a splat on the ground. Okay. Good. So what have we got? More barracks. Okay. Yeah, just. Ooh. These queues, man, they kill me. Anyway, like, Biggels, why are you still here? You know, you've delayed your opponent's expo for a long time. Stop building stuff out of these. Definitely stop queuing stuff up. Lift these and fly them home, please. There we go. That should have happened a while ago, to be honest, but here we are. You know, you did get value. You've certainly delayed Griffin somewhat. If I'm Griffin, I'm feeling delayed. Why are all these so bruised? Did he stim them? Is he going around stimming to kill buildings? Don't do that. Buildings are slow. You don't need stim to kill a building. But look, where's the expo? You know, he could have built a CCA, just go and just flown it down here. That would have been absolutely fine. In fact, he could have just walked an SCV around the corner. There wasn't a problem with doing that. But yeah, he could have had the command center ready to float down to here as soon as he cleared this up. But he doesn't. What he does have is an army that's substantially bigger than his opponent, though. Substantially bigger. Let's check the upgrades. He's got +1 in stim. Meanwhile, Biggels has got combat shield. So, you know, right now, let's look at the units tab. 33 Marines and 3 tanks against this. Now the medevacs are actually a game changer, because look, these Marines have been stimmed once or twice, certainly once too many, that's for sure, and they're so damaged, and this siege tank's about to fall over. It's going to be lucky to make it across the map without wheels falling off and stuff, so he doesn't want to push in with this, it's too squishy. I don't understand why there hasn't been a medevac produced yet when this starport was built like what, 5 minutes ago, and literally hasn't built anything. He's built a reactor on it so that he can like double the rate at which he produces nothing from it. So yeah, he's going to come down here and hopefully just siege up in a strong position to kill this base. And yeah, you know, Biggels has got a few Marauders, and Marauders, if you hit the stim button and send them running into siege tanks, they're so tough, they'll just run in and focus down a siege tank, but doesn't have that many of them. Does have the medevacs, but if this stuff gets, you know, a siege line here would be actually very hard to push into. That's the thing, that's kind of how Terran works. Siege lines, it's trench warfare, and it's very hard to push forward. So parking it here though isn't actually achieving anything at present. Yeah, so the double starport, you know, Biggels is doing something similar to what Griffin's doing. He's doubled his starport capabilities so that he can produce nothing at twice the rate. There are actually, what? Yeah, there are finally some medevacs on the map. This medevac's going to come across the map and run out of energy almost instantly. It's just going to be like, oh, okay. You guys have been waiting for me. And yeah, that's going to be all right. So it is going to slowly but surely, with the second one as well, it should get most of these Marines certainly up to full scratch. And I'd like to see him set up that siege line, as I said, start putting the hurt on this, and when his opponent comes, force him to take a bad engagement, pull the Marines back, and ultimately load them into the medevacs and tip them into the men. That's what I'd like to happen. So siege up, please siege up, please siege up, siege up, siege them up, siege them up. Yeah, maybe he's just got too much. I don't know. This siege tank at the back is certainly doing some work, that's for sure. This stuff isn't actually shooting, it's just walking. It's just coming down to walk about in front of the siege tanks. That's horrible. That is horrible. What have I just witnessed? These guys are running away again, having danced around in front of the siege tanks for a while. They've decided it's probably time to get out of here. This siege tank is finally going to go down, and Biggels holds in what was one of the most miserable StarCraft battles I've ever seen. That was horrible. Okay. What? Okay, right. He's here. He's doing some things. Some mining's happening. This is, to be fair, guys, this is also probably the worst StarCraft casting you're ever going to hear as well. So it's all fair. Why did Griffin just never build a second gas? No, hasn't bothered. I wish he would. It's just freaking me out a bit. Okay. Yeah. Biggels, go and do a thing. Stop standing about at home. Get across the map and get active. Do a drop at your opponent's base. Do a drop here. Do anything. Do something. You know, please. Anyway, I don't know how these players see the game. You know, Griffin knows that he sniped the base, and that's a good thing, but it was a third, and he doesn't have a third of his own. and that's a bad thing. He isn't even mining off these mineral patches because he can't be bothered. Oversaturation here hasn't bothered to turn this into an orbital. He's just holding down the marine button still as quickly as he can. So I think his plan is just to stem in with a lot of marines and hope for the best. Disappointingly, Biggels hasn't replaced his siege tanks. So actually a stem in, really strong chance it works. If this ghost just walks into this and gets shot in the face, that will just summarize the whole game. And it does, of course it does. Yeah. Oh well, at least he knows this stuff's here now, right? I'll tell you what, I can't just wait for stuff to happen. I need to go to bed. I'm tired, so very tired. And oh look, mate, he's coming in. He's shooting some things. Yep. No. Denied. Okay, here we go. So finally Griffin decides, do you know what, I'm just going to go and stem in there and see what happens. And he has got a lot of marines, and there are no siege tanks to do splash damage to them. So he wins the game is what happens. See how effective it is when you actually do stuff in this game. The sitting at home thing is like so round one. These days, now we're all up in round two. No sitting at home, like all out on the map, all feisty. Griffin takes it after I was going to say an interesting game. After a game, it was all a bit kind of scrappy, wasn't it? I mean, it really was. Mistakes were made on both sides, I feel. Mistakes were made. Anyway, you know, we live and learn, and hopefully I've been in some way instructional, aside from just being miserable and complaining. I can only apologize, but there we have it. GG.